Hey Aries, welcome to Vivid Vibration. I hope that y'all are doing well, better than last week. I don't know, we'll see. We got the Apocalypse and the Destroyer, Alithia, the Offering, the Pilgrim and the Flame. Aries, you can be on either side of the story, so take it how it resonates. But I feel like whatever destructive energy was going on before or currently or however it plays out for you, it was just this like light that fire, burn that bridge, go, 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 go type of energy, right? And it doesn't even necessarily have to be, you know, for some of my Aries, that could have just been like a very recent, immediate energy. For others of my Aries, it could just be because the apocalypse is the idea of like, this is a long time coming, right? Like you have to build something before you can destroy it in such a way. And I feel like there's this idea of like you're building something or somebody else is building something or people around you are building something and you're a part of it, but like just this idea of like it grows before it ends, you know, like the end of the empire kind of idea. Like I just like that's what I think of, you know, like it's like the you know, the end of an empire. That's what that feels like. And I think that in gaining this understanding of this end, you are also gaining understanding in, I almost feel like this need for like a solid alignment, right? Because again, even like if you haven't been actively engaged in this behavior, you've been a part of something that's just been like it just like the clock is ticking on this, you know what I mean? And I feel like there was just a part of you that was just like aware of the fact that the clock was ticking on it, but that's where you were, so that's where you were going to be, right? You know, like make the best of the situation, except for that, like that doesn't always fly, right? That's not always a like a justification. Like sometimes you need to stand up against something that is wrong, you know what I mean? Because especially if you are operating from a place of spirituality, and I would assume that if you're watching tarot channels, you are somebody who is concerned with, you know, like this the spiritual wealth and well-being of yourself and other people, because when you engage in that like next level of energy, there becomes a lot more like you become a lot more responsible for a lot more things, right? Like you take on a responsibility of accountability when you engage in things like that. And I think that there's just this idea of like the walls come crumbling down and you're left facing like the reality of the situation. And either you're getting an opportunity to go in another direction or somebody else is getting an opportunity to go in another direction. Or you're offering somebody, you know, like saying like, I don't know how it plays out for you, but there's this idea of a journey. And it's kind of like this. I feel like, you know, we started this journey together, like, let's keep going. You know, like traveling, you know, like people who are transient tend to really, you know, like you find other transient people, you know, and then they travel together and, you know, I mean, it just kind of becomes like this, like you're like a transient family, you know what I mean? And even when there's just like this idea that, you know, like it's a lifestyle. And if you live in that lifestyle, you adhere to that lifestyle and you know, like you tend to others in that lifestyle. And I feel like there's just this idea of like there's an end and you wanting to really like maybe with somebody who you were working with or, you know, a friend who you made along the way and you're like, all right, listen, like this is not working and shit's gone down. And I think there's an opportunity here. Like, let's take this opportunity. Let me take this opportunity. You know what I mean? Like there's just kind of this idea of grabbing your things and going. Okay, Aries. Hope everyone's doing well. Aries. This energy doesn't feel as angry as it did before, so that's nice, right? sometimes I think that there are people who are like legitimately addicted to anger. And I feel like sometimes that can be a shadow side of an Aries, you know, like just like you're not afraid of confrontation. And I love that about Aries, because you know that an Aries is just going to tell it like it is. But you know, like if that's your shadow side and you've put that on the back burner and you haven't really allowed for yourself to stand in that shadow power, that shadow energy, because that's the very, like, it's kind of like the idea of integration, right? Like my shadow can empower me. It, like if I'm an aggressive person and I like, but then all of a sudden I temper my tongue all of the time, you know, like because I'm afraid that I'm going to be too aggressive, but this situation calls for aggression. Well, then you're denying your very the gift that you have, right? In an attempt to control, you know, like this uncontrollable urge, instead of integrating it with you and allowing for it to empower you when necessary. It doesn't have to rule you. It doesn't have to dominate you or make you look like a fool, but like don't use it when you shouldn't and then not when you should. You know what I mean? Like that's what that feels like. um okay, so we had the Two of Cups and the Ten of Wands. The oh my gracious, so many cards. I hate it when like a whole stack falls out. I don't know why, it just bothers me. Okay, so I think that, you know, again, there's this idea of, I really do think for some of my Aries, it is like that there's somebody who you're like, okay, like we've been in this together, like let's keep going. You know what I mean? Towards this new community with this, you know, and this new opportunity. Two of Pentacles and Two of Cups, you know, it could very easily be somebody that you're in a relationship with, you know, like for some of my Aries, maybe you met somebody at work and this is something that went down at work and you guys, like the company is going down and you guys are like both like, hey, you know what? We've gotten a lot of great experience here. Like, let's go start our own company together, right? I don't know, that's the only thing that's really coming through right now. So I like, but that's what that feels like, of just kind of not being alone, but also working with somebody who you love, somebody who you are connected to, you know, whether it's in friendship or, you know, like a romantic way of existing. Either way, it just feels like you've gone through hell, you learned a lot of lessons, and now somebody needs to like take charge. And it's kind of like, okay, let it out. Like don't be afraid of your shadow. You've gone through that process. You have an understanding of what it is and how it rears its ugly head. Now use it when you need to. Because I feel like you need to. There's the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Swords, the Six of Swords, and the Chariot. Because again, whatever it is that's happened is sending you in a new direction. That's coming with again a great deal of knowledge and a great deal of experience. It's just kind of like, we've got what it takes to do this. Let's do it, right? The Fool, again, with the Six of Wands and the Chariot, or Six of Swords and the Chariot. The Fool, you're starting something, something new, but it's something that is pulling you up out of whatever it is that you were dealing with. And I think that you're moving forward and signing a contract. I don't know if you are, you know, like starting a business with this person. That really is like coming through pretty heavy right now. You know, it could be that you're for some of my Aries, it could be that you've gone through a lot of employees, right? And you've been aggressive and you've been mistrusting and you've been all of these things. And it's like, okay, now I have somebody who I can finally work with. If I don't want to lose them, then I have to, you know, like acknowledge like them for their skill, acknowledge them for their talent, you know, so that this can continue in a positive direction. You know, and I feel like just like an honoring of a situation, an honoring of, you know, like something that maybe you were fighting against. And it's like, you know, maybe instead of fighting against the thing that you want, fight on behalf of the thing that you want. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, all right, Aries. Hanged Man again. Yeah, I think it's just really seeing things differently. You know, especially if, and it was in the last read too, just this idea of like the type of person who will kick somebody unless they prove that they're worthy of not being kicked, you know, like guilty until proven innocent type of energy that just is like, that's not gonna fly for anybody who has any kind of experience, self-respect, self-love, anything, you know what I mean? And they're not gonna fuck with people who act that way, or you're not gonna fuck with people who act that way, you know what I mean? However it plays out for you. But again, you have the Chariot, you know, Fairy Stallion, the Chariot, the Hanged Man. I mean, I think that you really just see something so differently, that it, instead of feeling like you're missing out, you're starting to really understand that, you know, like there are good things in this world, and there are, you know, reasons to fight for something positive, and you know, just having a fighter spirit doesn't make you bad, you know, like that's very beneficial, and you know, can be used for good. But it, like, I feel like there's just been this journey of, you know, like fighting everything, and then feeling ashamed for being a fighter, and then not really, you know, like feeling irritated and agitated because what am I fighting and who am I fighting against, and I'm just, you know, like there's battles going on every which way, and I don't even, I'm just here, and I, you know what I mean, like. But I think discovering that if you're willing to control your own temper, and harness that skill to fight for the things that you really want, then you're able to do that. You know, like you're able to move forward in that direction. And I love that for you, Aries. Okay. See what else we can get for y'all. The Strength, the King of Swords, the Hermit, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Three of Cups. Yes, again, I think it's just this idea of like having to step away from it all, you know, really like be honest with yourself about your behavior, or about the behavior of the people around you, you know, and find the strength to really make a decision that allows you to move forward in that positive direction, right? Three of Cups is a celebration. You know, you have the Knight of Pentacles twice. Somewhere is the other one. Oh, Page of Swords and Knight of Pentacles. But again, it's this idea of a contract, of making an offer. You know, so I think that you or another person is making an offer to move forward with a better understanding of what it was that was preventing you from moving forward in the past, the skills that you've acquired, you know, and the ability, like the strength that you have in working with this person. You know, like it's a blessing. Stop fighting it, right? Don't be a dumbass. I saw this bumper sticker today, and it said, "Don't be a Richard." I laughed so hard. Yes, because if you're going to create a tumultuous environment, nobody's going to fuck with you. You know, and if you're dealing with people who are creating tumultuous environments, like, I think that you're just done with it, you know, and it's just kind of like this idea of, listen, if that's how you want to behave, cool. I have what I need, and I can go in another direction. You know what I mean? And so, like, I feel like there's just this acknowledgement in this movement, you know, after this end that you're experiencing. Okay, Aries, I hope this resonates with y'all. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if it does, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.